Brightest blessings, everyone. I'm doing a video response to a YouTuber I just saw, and I really liked her video entitled Godless Goodness or something like that. Anyway, her name is Think More Pink, and she's got some really great things in this one video that I really liked. She was going on about how there's going to be a new ad campaign over on the East Coast, and it's this gentleman dressed as Santa Claus and doesn't look like the typical Santa Claus. I mean, he's got darker skin, dreadlocks, a big nose, and it says, "Why believe in a God? Be for good. I'm sorry, be good for goodness sake." And I like that. I really do. Now, Think More Pink, I just came across your video, so I know you don't know me. However, I am not an atheist myself. I'm certainly not a Christian. I happen to be a pagan practicing Wiccan, and I'm looking to get to know you a little better. Um, I actually like the idea, okay, because I am one that goes by the thought of not everyone has the same path, and my path is not probably not going to be the same as your path. And I wouldn't just sit there going, "Oh, practice Wicca. Oh, be a pagan. Know the truth." No, I don't know about anybody else, but pagans in general don't do that. I'm not going to speak for all pagans. However, I know I don't, and I happen to think that this new ad campaign is probably going to start people shitting a brick and going crazy over it, and it's going to be extremely controversial, and that's why it's going to be so freaking incredible. I support it 100%. Um, Basically, she was bringing up the idea that yes, you can be good without believing in God. You can have peace and joy in your heart without accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, or without accepting Yahweh as your God, or accepting Allah as your God, or Buddha. You don't need to believe in one true all creator. You don't need to believe in multiple gods. You don't need to believe in um, a creator to be happy and to be good, especially to keep your little narrow ass in mind. You can't, you don't have to be believing in this all powerful father or mother figure in order to keep your ass in line. If you can't be good for goodness sake, then it's really no point. I remember I used to be a Roman Catholic, and when I went to Catholic school, I had talked to a priest in depth, and he was going on about how important it is to have free will, because it means so much more to worship and love God of your own free will than it would be to be programmed to do it. Love God, love Jesus, and then you have to. And so definitely loving God and Jesus when you have to certainly doesn't mean half as much as if you do and you have a choice. And that always stuck with me. Now, granted, I'm not Catholic anymore, I'm not Christian, um, but the thing is that why is it these people who are Christians have this holier than thou attitude, and yet in all reality they only love God and they only love Jesus because of something that they're going to get in the end. Basically, they have the attitude that they really don't like to portray, and that is, what's in it for me? When push comes to shove, it's what's in it for me. Whether you get the chocolate bar now or the chocolate bar later after you pass away, you're still being good for the chocolate bar, which really isn't a good Christian attitude, is it? Anyway, she had brought up that, I think it's a great idea because the Christians do it all the time, and so everybody thinks that they're so great and loving and giving, and that's a crock of shit. That, you always see Christian charities. The Christians are always giving out to the homeless. It's the Christian churches that open up homeless shelters. It's the Christians and the churches and all that stuff that have these hospitals. St. Luke's. It's always named after some saint or whatever, you know. And that's a bunch of bullshit. You don't have to be a Christian to have a charitable heart. You don't have to be a Christian to have love in your heart. You don't have to be a Christian to want to help out, get your hands dirty, and help your fellow man. You don't have to believe in any God form, or any goddess form to do that. And we, in my pagan community, we struggle with that a lot because we try to do that and try to show people we are not evil mofos because we don't have hospitals opened up and we don't have a soup kitchen for the homeless or a homeless shelter. We have the heart and we have the drive, we just don't have the cash because we're not passing that collection plate every Sunday or every full moon or every solstice or anything like that. And we just don't have the funds. Let's face it, people. Same thing with the atheists, and the humanists and all that stuff. And maybe the atheists and the humanists and the agnostics should get together with some of the other religions that are not necessarily Abrahamic faiths, such as the pagans or whatever, and start pulling our resources, And maybe we can open up a soup kitchen. Maybe we can open up a homeless shelter. Maybe we can really start taking our money and doing something with it and start opening up hospitals, In the meantime, that's, again, she's got a great idea. When you do this charity, when you give to this charity, you say loud and proud, we are the atheists of this area. We are the pagans of this area. We are, anything other than the Christians. Because I'm sick and tired of Christians all acting like they're of God and loving and all that stuff. They've got the same what's in it attitude, as everybody else. Let's face it. And as Pixelated had said, sometimes they could be the rudest motherfuckers in restaurants immediately after church services. So, I think that's a great idea. And that's just my 2 cents. As far as charities go, I'm big on animals. Of course, the Humane Society. Also, what most people don't really look at when they think of animals is no-kill shelters. Of course, the homeless. Of course, maybe those people in prison. Not everyone has to, or the drug addicted. You don't have to find Jesus to find sobriety and peace in your heart. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do stuff like that. Blessed be.